Hello everyone, I'm Sven Ronning and this is Violin Axioms, the place where we break violin technique down into little bite-sized bits to understand them better and to be able to reintegrate them into our playing. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for all the little bits that go together into making a really great technique on violin. So today we're going to be looking at axioms, employing axioms on how to memorize G arpeggios. And if you want to follow along in a book, I'm working from the arpeggio sequence that you would find in Carl Flesch's scale system or in Barbara Barber scale system. So you can use either one of those books to follow along. And of course, I'm going to explain it as we go along too. So if you want to just follow along, that's fine. You can also download my fingerings for scales as a scale chart by clicking on the link below. So try that as well. All right, let's begin first of all with G minor and G major. They're the same fingering. And those of you who have watched the channel before know that I like to sometimes summarize memory conceptually first, and I've talked about something called skyscraper fingerings. That is to say, fingerings in arpeggios in particular that are identical octave to octave. Now, with G major and minor, you can't do that because you start with an open string, so it isn't identical. But if you think about a slightly different first floor, like a daylight basement first floor or something, O2, and then shift 1 3 1, and then the third floor is identical to the second with a 4 on top. So O2 on G, O on D, shift to 1 on D, 3, now on A, 1, shift to 1 again on A, then 3, then on E, 1, 4. But again, it's kind of each octave, O to O, 1 3 1, shift 1 3 1, and then lastly, I'm going to run it exactly backwards. Another thing, if you watch the channel for a while, you'll know that I like to use the say and play method to test my memory before I even practice, so that I've basically got the scale pattern memorized or nearly memorized before I even begin practicing it. So in this case, the fingering is G 0 2, D 0 1 3, A 1 1 3, E 1 4. Coming down, E 4 1, A 3 1 1, D 3 1 O, G 2 O. Now, if I can do that as I just did it in a tempo, right, without hesitations or stops, then I'm pretty sure that I can say it or play it in rhythm as well. So that works for G minor and G major. So I'm just going to play those, and I'm going to do it with a metronome at quarter note equals 60 here. And I'm going to start by doing it 3 counts, whole notes, or a dotted quarter, and then slurring 3 and then slurring 9 by accelerating, okay? You'll see what I'm talking about. So holding 3 notes and then playing 1 per quarter, slurring 3, and then playing 9, so triplet in each quarter for the entire arpeggio. Here we go. For G minor. slurring 3. Now slurring 9. Triplet, triplet, triplet. Okay, for G major arpeggio, it's exactly the same fingering. The modified skyscraper we were talking about, O to O, shift 1 3 1, shift 1 3 1, 4, and then coming down the same way. And we're going to do the routine exactly the same. Here we go. 1 2 3. Okay, I want to say a few things about shifting, first of all. One of these I've said before in the channel, and that is just that you want when I make a shift, to make it smooth. I want very little pressure. I do want the finger on the string so that I can taste where I am. My finger can taste, but it's riding on top and there's a little bit of air between it and the fingerboard itself. So I like to think about this as an air bubble shift. It's almost as if the finger is riding on a little air bubble until it gets to the place it's going. And then the pressure goes in. So the air bubble is there to allow me to connect to the string, but not actually get caught with friction on it, okay? And when it comes to that, so what I'm doing is, of course, tasting the string with the finger. I'd also encourage you, as you do this, to taste the string with your thumb so that you know where you are, not just from up here, but from down here as well, right? So both places. Indeed, the profile between where your thumb and where your fingers go is unique in each position, so it really does tell you exactly where you are, and that is extremely useful. Okay, and the last idea is related to this, and it's particularly helpful on the way down, and that is sometimes it's easy to not know where you are as you come down a arpeggio. And a great way to work on this is to be aware of letting the thumb catch you as you fall into the new position on the way down. Almost the way landing gear grabs an airplane as it falls out of the sky, right? It grabs the plane and stops the fall. So if you think about letting the thumb catch your hand as it falls into a new frame. That's the drop the landing gear axiom. Okay, so we're going to use those as we work on smoother shifts. Okay, we're going to go on next to the submediant minor, as it's called in the Barber book, or just starting on G, but an E minor arpeggio, so O, 2, 1, or G, B, E. And it's also kind of a modified skyscraper, so O, 2 on G, 1, 1, 3 on A, on D rather, O, 2, 1, 1, 3, then 2, 1, 3 on A, 2, 4 on E. Okay, the skyscraper in this case being 1, 3, 2 is the way to think about it. Or rather, if I were going to do that using the say and play method, as follows: G, O, 2, D, 1, 1, 3, A, 2, 1, 3, E, 2, 4, coming down. E, 4, 2, A, 3, 1, 2, D, 3, 1, 1, G, 2, O. Here we go with the metronome once again. 2, 3. Okay, next we're going to do the subdominant from G. So that's a C arpeggio starting on G, the notes being, I'm going to turn that off, G, C, E, fingered as following. G, or open G, 3, 1, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4 on A, 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 3, 0. Okay? In the interest of the length of this video, I think I'm not going to do the say and play for you. I'm just going to demonstrate that again. G, 0, 3, D, 1, 1, 4, A, 2, 1, 4, E, 2, 4. And exactly the same coming down. This works for C major and C minor arpeggio. And we're going to do the same technique. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I said, C minor works the same, so G, C, E flat. Otherwise, the same fingering, the same idea. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. We're going to switch gears a little bit for the diminished 7, or specifically, I guess, the diminished 7 of 4. The fingering here, again, taken from Carl Flesch or from Barbara Barber. I'm not taking the fingerings from there, by the way, but I am taking the patterns from there. I'm trying to do a little bit of a skyscraper fingering here as well, although it doesn't quite work as well with these last 2 arpeggios. But I'm going to start with 0, 2, 4, and then 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 4. Now 1, 3 on A, 1, 3 on E, with 4 on top. So 1, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3. Be sure and practice this one with a tuner. It doesn't lie especially well on the strings because there are no fifths in this arpeggio, and so you're always going to feel like you're creeping around the fingerboard a little bit. The notes, G, B flat, D flat, otherwise known as C sharp, and F flat, otherwise known as E. We're going to slur as follows with the diminished 7 and the last arpeggio, the 5-7. We're going to do 4 counts on a single bow, then we're going to do 2 counts in twice the speed, and then 4 counts, okay? And here we are with the metronome again. This is diminished 7. slurring 2 twice as fast. Now slurring 4 twice as fast as that. 3, 4. Okay, and the dominant 7, 5-7 arpeggio is almost the identical fingering, the only exception being a second finger on the D string in place of the first finger. So O2, and now 2 rather than 1, then as before. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 2, okay. All right. Again, I'm trying to set this up as in such a way that the fingering pretty much stays in position for each octave. It's easier for your ear and tends to be a pretty practical way to approach this as well. Okay, so we're going to do the division in exactly the same way. This is the dominant 7. The notes are G, B, D, and F. Here we go. hey, that was a pretty long video today, but I think we've got a way and a method for memorizing arpeggios. Of course, you can do the same method with all the others. I'm going to cover some of the others in upcoming chapters of the channel, but we're going to do an approach a little bit differently in different keys. So I'll see you then.